Hey guys, welcome back. Squid here, along with me and Greek. We're here with the Helix 2v2, sponsored by RBG. Unfortunately, we're not quite back with the games yet, and we tried to explain a little bit in the chat earlier. We're just waiting on Swiss rounds to finish up before we can get our final bracket underway, but until we get that, we figured we'd get on and chat a little bit about what's going on this weekend, because obviously everybody knows it's... You having fun with that chair there?
I'm trying to make myself taller.
Hang on, here.
We're good.
Let me scoot over.
We're okay.
Get more in the frame.
I thought I shifted my weight enough to where I wouldn't fall back down. Right. I was very wrong.
This man just graduated with an engineering degree. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I'm not mechanical engineering or civil. I'm electrical.
I feel like you should. Anyways, it's RLCS weekend. We're here. We're having a great time. We just want to remind everybody of that. And actually, speaking of RLCS, I know you guys were talking about it actually earlier. You had Raw Greg's opinion on what was happening. With the RLCS. So let's just get our official, unofficial outtake. Okay. Well, basically, let's just get a recap actually, because I didn't hear that. So, what exactly were you discussing? Because I heard some kindlings of Rogue, and you know I'm a Rogue fan. So, what was that about?
Well, Greg and I were talking about upsets that were happening today, and the Rogue match between Barca was huge for them. Talk about big momentum shift in their favor. We talk about how they've been doing lately and how they had a rough start in NA League play. But they've really bounced it back in the past month, especially with their performance in the regional playoffs. And now they did pretty well at DreamHack too. I mean, yeah, they got knocked out a little earlier than what I wanted them to, but like they're starting to pop off a bit. And I think that I think the Dallas experience was huge for them because they had that LAN environment for Crow, Wonder, and AJ, and that's super important, especially transitioning here to RLCS. They're already kind of in that zone. And we were also talking about how Kronovi was playing more back and how important that was, especially because it allowed Wonder and AJ to kind of like flesh into these offensive roles and do all the scoring. Kronovi had no goals. He had a lot of great setups for them, and that's kind of what you want to do.
Yeah,
got the job done.
Kronovi, I had him on my fantasy team, honestly. Well, I had Kronovi on my fantasy team. I had him on defense more than 1 week because of how he did on the defensive line. So I'll at least say that much. But as far as Rogue goes, you know, you were talking about how they bounced back for NA League play. They had what is, in essence, the worst offseason you could possibly have. And I think we're getting an update from Mr. Producer Man, Josh himself.
All right, so we are moving, so 2 pools, because we did a best of 1, it messed up the tiebreaker.
Okay.
So 2 pools are both going to do a best of 1 right now, and whoever wins that will move into the playoff. So we have 2 basically showcase matches. We're going to get in their game right now.
All right,
we're going to cast the game.
We got a game up. Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a little bit of a ruling thing. We basically had to speed up the tournament at one point, so we were originally going to do a best of 3 format for all those Swiss rounds. We were unable to fit that into our time frame. Obviously, it's a lot later than we ever expected to go right now. So we switched it over to a best of 1. That changed up a couple of things, including the tiebreaker, which has actually come into effect. So we're moving into a basically what is a tie-breaking match to see who moves on into the final bracket. Right here, we're gonna be getting that matchup.
Yeah, I believe it's a best of 1.
Yes.
So like a lot on the line for these 2 teams that are going to be playing. I think Josh said there was 2 best of 1s.
Yeah, I believe this is actually happening in 2 pools.
Like
so this
in 2 pools. Wow.
This is already getting ridiculous.
It's really close. It's really close. We're gonna be here all night.
We're gonna be here all night, but that's okay. RLCS starts at 12 tomorrow, so we
got plenty of time to sleep in.
Yeah, we can sleep in a little bit.
We'll be okay.
Match, hopefully we're going to get it up pretty soon. Looks like they actually having some trouble setting up the lobby, so as soon as we get into that, we'll get into that. But obviously, 2 best of 1s for tiebreaker to decide who gets into the quarterfinals, and that should really be an indicator. Obviously, we do have some decent talent here. I know we have, there's a team, I believe their name is actually Dodes, which of course, it's communism and J-Bot. That's super mature, guys. You know, I've seen worse though. I'll say that. We've also got Raw Greg and Savvy Seal competing here, and then, oh boy, Talon with Swank.
Yeah.
So 3 big teams right off the bat there, and then we've seen plenty of other competition stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, we have, Squid, and Honestly, I can't even tell you who's going to end up winning it all tonight. People have been texting me. People have been tweeting at me like, who do you think is going to win? And I'm just like, don't put this pressure on me. it's tough because we're so used to doing 3v3 tournaments, but 2v2 is a whole nother beast. Like, there's a lot more variables, I want to say, and it's very interesting to cast these matches, especially because when you look at it from a 2v2 perspective, there's less role interaction, I want to say, compared to 3v3. Like, you know, in 3v3 you have someone who's like mostly playing back and stuff like that, but in 2v2 you have to kind of like play in conjunction with your teammate and always kind of like not like shadow them throughout the field, but always there to support them. So it leaves a lot of room for error, I want to say.
Yeah,
So,
I think that's the big thing. Is like when people ask, are you a 2v2 or a 3v3 main? Or you can be a ones main, but we don't talk about those people, right? So when people say if they're a 2v2 or a 3v3 main, it usually boils down to how safe they play.
Yeah.
So I know for a fact that Pluto, obviously a former LCS contender, he much prefers twos because it actually, to a certain extent, contrary to what I just said, he actually prefers it because it gives him a little bit more space to work. But we could talk about that one forever. We got the game up right now. Stockton Boys versus We Love Puppers. And oh boy, I love that name just about as much. And Large trying to open the door here. JD is going to close it though. That was a quick shot right off the bat. And now another one the other way. Large makes a save. And we already have a lot of action.
yeah, we do. And hey, it's hard to bet against a team called We Love Puppers because you can't disagree with that one, Squid. But again, loving the action we're getting early on in this one. And these teams, they're holding no punches. They're already shooting for the net multiple times. I'm loving this action.
Yeah, and actually a little bit of info on Stockton Boys as they're about to score a goal with Dark taking the pass from Large off the side wall. Excellently done. They managed to hold their own against Talon and Swank earlier on.
Oh yeah, did they end up winning that series?
They did not. They lost both games by 1 goal. That's
tough.
the thing. Jersey scores. Jersey scores that team of Talon and Swank, and obviously everyone should know those names. So now first goal in their favor. Again, a best of 1. So the timer's already ticking for We Love Puppers in the orange. They'll try and see if they can take a possession here. Dark's going to tap it off to the side. Leave it for JD. Large last man back. No second touch coming through though. And he'll be able to shove it downfield. In the air, not much boost to work with. Popped up high. Dark potentially here, but Heidi wins. Excellent challenge on that one. Relatively neutral gameplay after that first goal has been scored. No significant shots on target. Large is going to see if they can continue the offense downfield. Stockton Boys quickly getting shut down as Heidi moves it down the line. A demo should open up a lot of space. JD with an aggressive challenge off the backboard, but that demo, again, not really allowing Heidi to make any sort of play. He forced all the way to the back, and Stockton Boys not threatened as a result. Large going for the 1v1. Not much luck there, but Dark will be able to control it backfield. Looks like they're just trying for a safer style of play, and might have been a mistake. JD can't make the double tap. I love the idea, but now it's moving down the other way.
Well, these teams do have to be careful because this is a best of 1, so they can't really redeem themselves if they drop a game here, Squid. It's all or nothing as Heidi's going to throw one downtown, but Dark there to back that one away.
And Large should have an open net downfield, but he's got no boost in the tank to make it. And that's a missed chance. If I've ever seen one of the Stockton Boys denied a goal there. And We Love Puppers actually going to be thanking their lucky stars for that one because it was a little bit of a double commit. But one thing I've noticed is we saw 2 attempts at an air drag solo on a defended net from We Love Puppers. Generally not the best strategy if you ask me, but if you have faith in your gameplay, then I suppose it could be for the better. We approach the half, and they maintain a 1-goal deficit. Heidi going in for the 1v1 dribble will win the 50-50. Couple of options here, looking for a demo actually, but Large wisely plays to the back of the net actually. Something you don't often see, but reading the play perfectly.
Yeah, and again, you don't really see that often in 3s because that poses a risk, but in 2v2s, you know you have that space available, Squid, so that's a really great use of the field as Large bar downs into the net. I thought this was bouncing out.
A little bit of a dinger there. JD trying to get a favorable clear up to Heidi, but he ended up going off the top of the net. Looking like he wanted to get one of those squishy saves, but Large easily puts it off to the side. A 2-goal lead now, just past the half, and We Love Puppers not exactly in the most amazing spot right now. They definitely haven't had significant pressure. Here's an opportunity right off the kickoff, though, and JD will get one back.
Oh, Squid, you hate to see this one. Kickoff goals, and this is going to shift a lot of momentum down to We Love Puppers. Stockton Boys Large went for the boost. You can't have that, especially as the ball is careening towards your net. You got to always protect the house first.
Well, that's one of the risks you take into is you can go for the boost on face-off, and sometimes it results in a bad outcome. And JD's actually going to have another opportunity off kickoff. Dark will be able to get this one away. And a missed touch there from Heidi. Actually, no touch at all, but Dark, again, no boost. A bit of a pump and almost caused an issue, but JD is able to clean it up. Drop off into the corner, and We Love Puppers trying to make an attack run. Good boost pick up, but Heidi can't take a good possession there. And now it's large. Downfield, double tap opportunity. Easily cleared away by JD. Good defense of the backboard, I might add. Dark with no boost in the tank, and that side being stolen could pose an issue for the defense here. Good 50-50 from Heidi. He's in Rule 1. JD can't beat him to the ball, though. And now it's moving down the other way. Does look like he's going to get a counter attack. And that is unfortunate if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, oh no. He was trying to get the clear on the play, but Dark did a fantastic job kind of getting sandwiched between Large and Heidi, really preventing him from getting around the play. That's kind of smart use of the field, of the positioning, and great communication between the teammates in order to get that shot on net. The Stockton boys have a nice 2-goal cushion now, but there's still plenty of time left for We Love Puppers to say something.
And again, Heidi going for a solo play on that ball. Didn't work out. And again, I'm just going to note, they've been going for so many solo plays, it feels like he's going to go for another one. Large, the last man back. Almost a good fake. Not quite. JD's going to have to be off to the races here. Gets a wayward touch, and it will go out to the corner. Almost looked like maybe an own goal there. Large in the air, trying to continue the pressure. No double tap. Dark wisely waiting at the midfield line. 1 minute remaining now to close a 2-goal gap. JD towards the net again. Dark there for the defense. And We Love Puppers finally starting to set up on some offense. A good touch there from Heidi, but Large too quick on the draw. And it's moved all the way downfield. And a wonderful dunk, not quite on target, but still a huge play as Dark takes out JD. And they can still continue this one down the field. Heidi is just desperate to get this one out of their own end.
Yeah, the boys, they're doing a fantastic job keeping this ball in the orange half, wasting so much time as JD, all of a sudden, Squid, this game is within arm's reach.
Yeah, just making use of that missed touch there from Large. JD was able to find a shot that didn't look like it was going to be on target in a meaningful way there for a second. I mean, it was right in the path, but Dark, well, you know, you take those if you're We Love Puppers. They got 30 seconds. They can still manage this. We've seen them score a kickoff goal already. We'll have to see if they can repeat that. They did start out on the offense momentarily. A great touch there from Large, just moving towards the net. Does not look like he's going to be able to follow up, but this is a dangerous ball. Still Dark down low and puts it through. 14 seconds and they got insurance.
And the boys did a fantastic job playing the ball off the backboard. I'm trying to see where Heidi was in the net. Unfortunately, trying to play off the top of the crossbar. It's not going to do you justice as Dark just had to find the right placement, the open opportunity in the net, and it looks like We Love Puppers might get eliminated here unless they get a miracle.
A miracle. They will need 10 seconds on the clock, and JD, no contact made there. That might be the heartbreaker. A wonderful dunk from Heidi, but he's going to have to put it in right away. He was up too fast and no angle, and that means no hope. The clock hits 0, and the game is decided. Stockton boys will be moving on to the final bracket.
Yeah, they will, and hey, great run here from We Love Puppers, but unfortunately for them, they got stopped by the Stockton boys, and Dark and Large did a great job working together. We saw the communication, especially on those team bump plays and the plays really they were able to just shut out We Love Puppers, and utilizing that backboard and just understanding the weaknesses of the other team. That's what's super important about 2v2s, is you want to be able to kind of get into your mind of your opponent and kind of predict what they're going to do with the ball, and I think they did that very well.
And yeah, for me, I don't think they really did any one thing particularly well. It was just kind of a mixture of everything. Yeah. They were winning the 50-50s where it mattered. They had the midfield presence. There were a lot of times when they were controlling boost. We saw some demo plays utilized. You mentioned the backboard. They were basically just doing everything that needed to be done. I think the number one thing that they did right was just kind of letting the waves crash against the rocks for a while there. They were playing defense when need be, and it was always solid. We saw maybe one misplay or two, but other than that, it was a very good gameplay. Can't wait to see them in the final bracket.
Yeah, there's no reason to try to force the issue, especially when your defense is playing fine. So again, a great way to play this tournament style, this format, is just wait for the mistakes to happen. And oh boy, they did come. They were able to score on 4 of those and capitalize. They had more opportunities than that, but they just couldn't find purchase. So You know, Squid, this is what's really working for these teams. However, when they start to get into this quarterfinal bracket, this final bracket, they're gonna have to work some magic here, especially against our top teams that are gonna be more mechanically skilled and more consistent. So we'll see how they do going on from here.
Well, like I said, the Stockton boys did manage to hold their own in a best-of-3 against Jersey Scores.
That's true.
Again, Talon and Swank, some higher-up names. I think that's one of the big 3 teams that I'm really watching out for. There are a couple other teams below that, but really those top 3: Jersey Scores. I believe it's Cleveland, which is an incredibly weird name. I'll say Raw, Greg, and Savvy Seal. I don't know what the heck you're
It's like
there.
Cleveland.
And
that's what Greg was telling me. It's like Cleveland.
Yeah, but without the
V and the D.
Yeah, so those are 3 teams to watch out for. Jersey Scores, Cleveland. And
Cleveland.
I believe it's the Dodes or the Doders, which is communism and J-Bot. So
oh man,
it'll be tough stuff. But I mean, we've seen competition come out of nowhere before in many tournaments, especially on lands. So don't want to say that anything's set in stone. They're going to be moving on to the final bracket. We're going to get your next match for you pretty quickly here if we can. We'll talk to production guys and make sure that everything will be fine with that one. But we'll be right back.